Nigerians will say, well, maybe we shouldn't bother ourselves about what has been expended, and then we should focus on what we currently have and how we can, move forward. And I think one of the reasons why one of the reasons to fight the evil, the deviling, the oil industry is the reason why this administration removed the subsidy. And they say after the removal of subsidy, we'll have everything in abundance, even though it's not going to take, it's not going to be pronto. It's just going to take, phases. So do you feel that the removal of the subsidy, which has also had its own impact on the economy, you feel is still the best thing?
It was 100% wrong. Let me explain. Define subsidy in the first place. Subsidy is a globally accepted economic pain cushioning concept. Subsidy is not a Nigerian parlance. It is a global concept that works and is supposed to reduce pains. So when you contextualize it in the case of or context of your own country, the question now is this: if subsidy is not working in your own country, that cannot vitiate the global definition or relevance. What you do?
Bankrupt.
No, according to what the president said.
You are always getting these things wrong. These things, the president said this thing just like a year ago, right?
No,
these things were said. No. But when the president came in May, he said it. But these things were drummed to us like 10 years ago. So it was like 10 years ago. So don't tell me that. And let me tell you what people don't understand about the oil and gas industry. There is serious business, climate hostilities right now. People should not deceive themselves. It's just very unfortunate that some people just sit down here, all they believe is we generate revenues from crude oil and gas and everything, and how the industry works, nobody knows. Let me tell you, quote me that I said this, and I stand to have debate with anybody to the level of OPEC. And if there is a level beyond OPEC, I can have it. If you go to many of these industries today, even the institutional oil companies, they are still winding down. Because when you go, whether you are talking about on land, swamp, or deep offshore, the trucks they are using, the vessels, the tugboats, the rigs are all running on diesel. At the present cost of diesel, you tell me how they can break even. Then let's come down to the microeconomic indices. Let's be real and practical now. If you pick an ordinary Okada man or a vulcanizer, and you said he is going to buy 10 liters at 6,000 or 7,000 Nigerian naira, tell me how many tires he is going to fix to break even. Pick a typical, that's why let's go to the basics now. Pick a typical hairdresser. There is no light, you know it and I know it. Pick a typical hairdresser today. Let that hairdresser buy petrol of 10,000 naira or 10 liters. Tell me how many hairs she's going to work on to break even. So practically, things are not right.
Well, that's
one thing about being on the wrong path is
introducing CNG.
Look, these things are, I'm a gas engineer. For the first time, let me tell you, an experienced guy, and I train under people like late Professor Chiyukoku of University of Port Harcourt and Stanford. Look, you don't gloss around things and deceive, and that was why I said some technocrats allow themselves to be used as praise singers and propagandists. But where are they today? When you talk about compressed natural gas, an internal combustion engine, you don't know how to use that. First of all, in Nigeria, we don't even produce the spoke of a bicycle. Who told you that you have every power or right to come and change the gasket of car A to car B? Do people know what we call intellectual right? Just because one bloody mechanic at Ojuelegba or Transamadi in Port Harcourt, one mechanic in Ojuelegba or Transamadi in Port Harcourt or in Gonge in Meduguri or Transikulu in Enugu can just come, twist this gasket, pick this and change this from car A. Who told you as a nation you have that right? You will be charged for intellectual theft and fraud. It's just like the other day I was sitting with some people and I was telling them that we don't have basic water. And that person was a journalist. And that journalist said, no, you shouldn't be talking about water because the government is more busy about complicated things. And I said, what? Do you know that water constitutes more than 70% of your body physiology or liquid? And you're talking like this. So if you tell me water is not important because my leaders are bothered about more complicated things, are you telling me Latif Jakonde was a fool when he conceived the idea of making basic water available? Are you telling me Sam Mbakwe was a fool? Are you telling me Balarebe Musa was a fool? See, let's be very honest. The economy of Nigeria today is on the wrong trajectory. And when I hear people saying, we want to go out, woo investors, we want to... No. Today, let me tell you, as I'm speaking, there are people who are already watching. And when you talk about nations, they have their representative, they have their attaches, they have everything. If your economy is working, if you have the right infrastructures, if you're taking care of security and things like that, you don't need to go anywhere. Investors are looking for good, positive, and peaceful investment havens to come. The truth is this, the model is wrong. If the model is wrong, the output will always remain wrong. Okay, just ask yourself, okay, you've removed the subsidy, you've done this, you've done that. What has changed?
What has changed, one of it is the fact that there is enough allocation going to states, which has never been recorded.
Valueless allocation, and I will explain to you. Valueless. I was talking to, when I went for my PhD professor, he said when he became a professor around probably 15 years ago, his salary was the equivalent, or was an equivalent of like $3,800. That same professor, he will soon retire. And my PhD professor, he will soon retire. His salary is not up to 700 Nigerian dollars today. So when you tell me about... 700 Nigerian, I mean $700.
Okay.
When he became a professor, his salary was an equivalent of $2,800. He will soon retire this year. His salary is not up to $700. Please, I just want to contextualize these things. Anybody who tells you that you live in a country where your minimum wage cannot buy 50 kg bag of rice, that country is in trouble. Any country where the entire minimum wage of the nation cannot buy 50-liter jerry can of diesel, you don't need any statistics. But you see, the good thing about people like us is this. We are talking as families. It is from amongst us that the leaders come. But the truth is this. At some point, let me tell you, many of our leaders have been misled. Even the concept of the subsidy. What are we talking about? I appreciate subsidy till tomorrow. And many people, if Awo and the rest didn't provide subsidy, all this, I don't want to use the word, say, you say today, Southwest is diseducated. Wasn't it what Awo did? You have a country where leaders are here, citizens are here, you have subsidy here, but in between the subsidy and citizens, you have saboteurs.
It could no longer be sustained.
They keep telling you all those things now that you've done it and you have so much naira now. Tell me, look, okay, show me the investors that had come. An institutional company that has been a major operator in Nigeria. Last year, that operator, or 2 years ago, they didn't drill up to 6 wells in Nigeria. That oil company, go to their search engine and check. That company is now in East Africa and is going to drill 450 wells across 5 years. I told you the oil industry is very transparent. It's people who are so theoretical from outside. Even when I hear people saying, we don't know the quantity of...
Well, IMF also supported me removing this.
Good. You just made me to remember this thing. I had, not IMF specifically, but I had an international discussion with somebody that was representing a creditor institution and a financial institution to Nigeria. Do you know what that gentleman said? He said, the reason why we don't even need to bother refining internally was that even if we refine on a liter, we are going to be saving like probably 10 naira per liter. right? Then I said, oh, so there will even be saving. He said, yes, if you refine in Nigeria, but maybe 10 naira per liter. Then I said, okay, with due respect to you, sir, just hang on. I said, with due respect, they say we import about 70 million liters. That was then. I said, 70? He said, yes, so if we refine internally, multiply 70 million by 10 naira, that will be the savings per day. Multiply the savings by 1 week. Multiply it by 1 week. That thing embarrassingly ended the discussion. You see, Nigeria is great. Individually, we have our dexterities. If you are sent now to go to anywhere, any media organization across the globe, you will excel. But within Nigeria, the truth is this: we have economic vampires, we have economic marauders, and we have traitors. The concept of subsidy, what really happened was you have the subsidy here, you have citizens here. In between, you release, but you have saboteurs, S and S. I don't know whether they got confused on which of the S. One is S, the subsidy. One is S, the saboteurs. What you were supposed to remove was to get rid of the, I almost wanted to say bloody saboteurs again. But you mistakenly removed the subsidy. The saboteurs are there. Tell me how the saboteurs have helped this government. Let's be fair. How many investors have come? Everything we're talking. So the saboteurs are still there, sabotaging the government, and they are economic traitors.
So one will not wonder what should connect the low-income class, and then the government, and then the middle class, and all of that, which is subsidy. That is that line, that thin thread. How do these saboteurs, how do they act? Because you just wonder. They say, okay, there are some people that are sabotaging the economy. The subsidy is not getting to the common man. How exactly do you think they've been doing this?
Let me tell you. Does it make any economic sense? Let me tell you the plan they had for Nigeria. One, right? Remove subsidy. Devalue your currency. Redenominate your currency. You understand? Then the next thing, they wanted even to get Nigeria out of OPEC. I am telling you the agenda. How can you see strategic sectors, industrial sectors collapsing, strategic commercial sectors collapsing, strategic domestic sector collapsing, and somebody is still telling you to keep choking your economy? The truth is this. That is what I keep telling Nigerians. I mean, everywhere I go. No matter how visionary you are as a leader, if you don't have supportive lieutenants, you are going to crash as a leader. Because I don't expect the leader to be the medical doctor, the accountant, the engineers, you know, the taxi driver. But supporting lieutenants have been sabotaging and misleading our leaders. And I stand to be challenged till this moment.